Hey YouTube, Black Metal Cat here. This is a 6-day-old tongue splitting done by the amazing Sampa von Cyborg and his team. Just had the stitches removed yesterday, and I still have a little bit of a lisp because it's a relatively fresh procedure. But it's been getting better pretty much every day. When I wake up I can talk a little more. And I've been getting a lot of practice talking at work because I kind of work in sales. Procedure took about 15 minutes. The most painful part was at the very beginning where they stab your tongue 3 times with a needle to get the numbing agent in. After that, when they went to cut it, first they cut my tongue web, you know, like under your tongue. And that was kind of trippy because I could kind of hear it. It was just kind of like a... and they cut through that. And then when they went to actually cut my tongue, they cut it, you know, down the center. And it just felt like my tongue was just unzipping. It was the weirdest shit. But it was so cool. And I was kind of just all smiles. I was so happy during the procedure. After that, they stitched it up on each side. A little bit of that was painful because by then the numbing was starting to wear off. I'd say the numbing wore off in about 20 minutes. 20-25 minutes. I was out the door, and they were super professional, extremely clean. This tattoo shop was amazing. But I did the whole trip solo. I had to travel about 500 miles to have it done. So I did that with a bus. I got to the city real early in the morning. Like 8 o'clock in the morning, and I slept under a tree in the park, and I walked across the city to my procedure, got it done, walked 5 miles back to the bus station, had to wait there like 4 hours, and then board the bus for an overnight trip home. Those first 2 or 3 days, especially that first day, was rough, because I felt like I was drowning. I was like drooling so much. And I forget why, but they said not to spit out your drool, to just kind of like swallow it, or just get it with like a paper towel or something. So it was just like, just drowning the whole time. And I couldn't really talk. I had this piece of paper that said just had oral procedure done, can't speak, sorry. And that worked well, especially like all the people that are like, hey, can I have some money, blah blah. I'm just like, I almost didn't get it done because I booked it a year ago and paid for most of it then. And I was going to be driving there, but the day before my van broke down, and some people pretty close to me convinced me I should just do it, so I'm really glad I listened to them. Let's see what else. Questions. I wanted to talk about a lot of the questions I get. The main one, of course, is did it hurt? I already explained that. Procedure didn't really hurt except for the very beginning. The stinging and the discomfort for the next like 5 days kind of hurt a lot. But in terms of actual procedure, my septum hurt worse. And I think it's because I have a thick septum. But that hurt a lot worse. Now the bullshit questions. What are you gonna do when you're old? Well, I'll probably be like even more of a freak by then, so probably just be awesome and do whatever I'm doing. What about your job? I work in a head shop, and I absolutely love my job and everyone I work with, and I work really hard there, and so they don't really care that I'm a freak. And my customers don't give a shit either because my customers are awesome. In terms of like future jobs, I don't usually stick my tongue out at interviewers, for real. And when I'm just talking, usually you would never guess. You would never just be like, that guy's tongue must be split. So I'm not worried about that at all. One thing's cool is I can't be drafted into the army anymore because you have to, you can't have split tongues in the army. So I never planned on joining the army anyway. Like a bonus for me, being a hippie and shit. One question that I see asked a lot on videos that no one else seems to really want to talk about is like, what about oral sex? Well, first of all, this is 6 days old. What I was told was that if you get your tongue split, you should wait at least 3 weeks. Obviously, it seems like it would probably be an asset, and I don't mind talking about it because, you know, I think it's a legit question. A lot of people ask how much it costs. Actually, not going to go into that. I will say it was hundreds of dollars, which I paid most of like a while ago. So I want to talk about it because who knows if maybe the price changes, you know, and that's up to the artist. The other question is like, well, where can I get this done? You gotta realize it's still a pretty underground thing. You're gonna have to try to find a traveling body mod artist to do it for you. Like, you can't just walk down to your local shop and ask for a split tongue. It doesn't work that way. You gotta find a traveling dude who does it. You know, the world of YouTube probably doesn't care, but a lot of friends have been asking me, like, do you have plans for future mods? If I were to maybe get horns or something, if I got horns, they would have to be more lower profile, kind of just like boosting up these natural like horn bumps I have just a little bit, like something showing there. I do like the actual like horn like implants I see people with, but just me personally, that's not my style. It'd have to be more Hellboy, so to speak. Really, I think I'm finally going to focus on just tattoos for a while. Might get my nipples pierced, but I just want to like black out this arm, just cover this arm, just lots more black work everywhere, just straight fucking black, like even going up to my neck and stuff. So I really want to up my tattoo game. That's it. A lot of YouTube diaries of tongue splitting are girls. I'm a guy. I wanted to add my 2 cents in. So long.